All right. So this week we're going to have a little special episode. These students, this group of 4 students, are conducting a little bit of an interview. They have Mr. Welsh to tell us a little bit about his past football program and whatever other things they delve into. I hope food, but we'll see what happens. Yeah. I'm going to let these guys take it away. This is going to be part of their podcast for episode 1. And, enough out of me. I look forward to hearing from these guys.
Hello, this is Rastin. I'm the sound person.
I'm Ronney, and next to me is
Ollie, and next to me,
Mr. Welsh.
Today we have an interview with Mr. Welsh about the football season, the new basketball season, and also a couple personal questions.
Can't wait.
So how was your season for football?
In regards to the season, I thought that we did improve as the weeks went on. The main positive, as I told all the football players, is the attendance in practice. I thought the kids did a great job, or the players did a great job of showing up every day, trying to learn, trying to execute the plays. We preach alignment, assignment, execution, and we did that a lot. But again, at the end of the day, I wish that the players walked off the field with a lot more wins than we did. But I didn't really want to assess the season with wins and losses. That's not kind of how I assess every season. But again, I thought it went well. We had a lot of roadblocks with days off during the week and stuff like that. We weren't able to practice during the week a lot as much as we wanted to because of all the holidays that popped up within the first 2 months of school, so September and October.
What does alignment, assignment, execution mean?
So I break it down into the simplest of forms so all my players can understand. The most important pieces go according. So in regards to the plays and how they're executed, it all starts with how you line up, hence alignment. Understanding what your assignment is, and then going out and executing the assignment. Again, I break it down for it to be very simple because each play starts with alignment, and then assignment, and then execution, because each play is different.
As a team constructively, would you say that as a unit, we improved more than just player by player?
Oh, without question. You have to understand, and I'm pretty sure all 3 of us here do, 4 of us, I should say, know that it's the ultimate team game. All 11 players need to be working cohesively for each play. So as a unit, yes, we definitely got better. I'm very, very happy that we ended the season the way that we did and got our one and only win. But that was by far our best game that we played. 32-0 shutout against a pretty decent team who was 4-1 at the time. So yes, I believe as a unit, we definitely progressed and got better. But that's what usually happens, specifically when the kids show up every day.
From our understanding, you played football in the past.
Yes.
What would you say are some of your inspirations through your career?
I had a few, honestly. So the first football player that I really, really gravitated to was Walter Payton, also known as Sweetness. He played for the Chicago Bears. To me, he epitomized exactly what I wanted to be. Not only on the football field, but just in general, an ultimate team player, somebody who was loyal, somebody who worked hard. So that's what made me first initially gravitate to football. And then I was lucky enough to meet a coach by the name of George Powers at Nassau Community College. I played football for them because I didn't necessarily know what I wanted to be once I grew up. So I went to Nassau to try to feel my way into a profession. But I did know that I wanted to play football. And at Nassau Community College, which is located in Garden City, right down the block, I met George Powers, who sat me down in his office, and he looked at me and was like, "What do you want to do with your life?" I'm like, "Coach, I just want to play ball. I honestly don't know." And then he brought this up and was like, "Why don't you become a teacher?" And honestly, after after he said that, and I got done laughing because I hated school. I disliked school. I didn't really want to go to school for that matter, but I did because of football and sports. He was like, "Why don't you become a phys ed health teacher?" And that was like my aha moment. That was it. A light went on, and I started gearing all my classes towards phys ed. And because of Coach Powers, one of my coaches at Nassau, and then I ended up going to Cortland, played football for 2 more years there, Division III school, and received my degree in physical education. And then I went on to get my master's in health education. That's why I'm able to teach both.
Who do you think carried the team?
This past season.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, listen, again, that's a good question. But when we talk about the ultimate team game, right, there's no one player bigger than the team. And I understand that we had a very good player. I get all that. But I think the offensive line did a great job of opening holes. All those guys did a tremendous job, and even Larry on the other side of the backfield did a great job of opening up holes for Nicholas. I don't think anybody theoretically carried the team. I think we all did it together as a unit, as a collective unit, with it being the ultimate team game. So that's how I feel about that.
Why didn't you go D1?
That's a great question. Division I is obviously what I strive to be, but again, at the end of the day, I felt like football was just a vehicle. As long as I was playing and participating, which I did experience some awesome experiences. Cortland has a game that actually went on last week. It's called Cortica. And it's the biggest little game in the country. That's what they call it. And it was pretty cool to have over, 8,000 people in the stands watching you play a game. That was a good moment that I will always remember. But in regards to Division I don't want to ignore the question, but as long as I was playing football and receiving a degree, because in the reality of it, I knew I wasn't making the NFL. Though I did try out for the Arena League a long time ago. I did arena football, which you could get paid for if you're good enough, but I wasn't good enough. And, everybody has a plan and a purpose in life. And this was my plan and purpose all along, to teach and educate students. So Cortland for me was the way to go because of their education program.
What players did you see the most improvement and dedication in, if you don't mind me asking?
No, RJ, that's a great question. I definitely think RJ, Ronney, you're one of them. I was very, very proud of how you responded to everything, being the new kid on the block, being new to the school, and how all the kids kind of gravitated to you. We have a lot of kids such as yourself that have never played football before. I thought Costas at the end developed into a very fine lineman. Khalid, who ended up being our quarterback at the end of the season, did a great job. Nick, who was our quarterback in the beginning of the season, again, you have an individual that has never played organized football before. It's hard to, learn all these things on the fly. Again, we don't have a great feeder program here in Herricks. We do have the Mineola Chiefs, but a lot of the kids that we get have never played organized football before. And that's a great responsibility, and a responsibility we take in educating all of our football players. But I think, those 3 that I mentioned showed a lot of improvement along with others, for sure.
What relationship do you think your students and your players have, like, as a, I guess I could say, community?
Well, in regards to my relationship with my students and players, I guess it's kind of who I am. I kind of relate to a lot of students, I guess, in regards to school and how it is a chore and how it is annoying. And that's kind of, how it was for me. But again, my vehicle was sports and athletics. So I guess I'm able to interact with students, whether they play sports or not. I'm kind of funny, I think. Sometimes I am boring because I try to get my points across in regards to health and fitness and even mental health and wellness, which I think is very, very important right now. But again, I think kids just kind of gravitate to me for a little bit because of my energy and what I give off to other kids. Like, I'm very in your face. I carry a lot of energy on the football field and off the football field. I'm loud. I'm always in the holes talking. So I think that plays a role. All of those things that I just went over. So good question.
Do you think any of your players can make varsity?
Yeah, with practice, you bring up a great point. One of the most gratifying things for me as a coach, is watching players go on and play varsity football. You know, we had Shreyan, who is a 9th grader, end up playing varsity football along with Gavin. You know, so to see them as 9th graders move on so quickly, you know, I think that's awesome. And Stevie, who played basketball for me 3 years ago, is now a varsity basketball player. And I get great gratification out of all that. At the end of the day, as a middle school football coach, we want all our players to play varsity football. That's our main goal. So besides improvement.
What would you like to see in this upcoming season for basketball?
I just want to see them working together and practicing hard. Again, practice is very, very important to the growth and development of not only each player individually, but as a team. Again, you got 5 players that need to be working together. In my mind, it is a little easier than football in regards to those guys working together, because there's only 5 on the court at one time. You know, working on fundamentals, jumping off the correct foot when you're performing a right-handed and left-handed layup, which we're still working on. I think the 7th grade group is going to be pretty decent. I know the 8th grade group is going to be very good because I coached a lot of them last year. You know, so, but in regards to the 7th graders, I think practice is very, very important. And, you know, again, I'm not expecting a lot, but I am definitely hoping for the best for sure this season.
What's your favorite team for football?
My favorite football team going back, again, I said Walter Payton was the first football player, first person I really looked up to besides my father. But again, I am a Chicago Bear fan. I love the Bears. That's my team. Out of all the sport teams, out of all the sports in general, that football is my thing. So I kind of live and die by the Chicago Bears. They haven't won a Super Bowl since 1985, which is a long time ago. I was in first grade actually at the time when they won the Super Bowl. They went back in 2006 and lost to the Colts. So I'm hoping that they get back there at some point. We got a young QB named Justin Fields, and I think that he's going to be really, really good, but still he's learning. It's his second full year under center. So he's still learning and making rookie mistakes even within his second year. But I like the direction that the team's going. So I'm excited.
What do you think the 7th graders are going to improve next year?
Well, they have experience. That is one thing that is going to help them improve further. Having a year under your belt and coming together as an 8th grade group, I feel like they're going to make leaps and bounds and very good strides. The one thing I am worried about with that upcoming 8th grade group is the numbers, the sheer numbers. We need a few more current 7th graders, soon to be 8th graders, to come out and play football.
What's your if you only had the choice to eat one thing, what would it be?
Ooh, one thing. That's a tough one.
I think I might know the answer.
Can I just say all you can eat buffet? But
no.
No, that would be cheating, I guess.
Is it the Panda Express?
The Panda Express. I do love my Panda Express. So it would be a toss-up probably between Panda Express and Chipotle. Yeah, so you're good with that guess. Yeah, the Panda Express is a good time. When I go visit my parents in Florida, they live in Venice, Florida. I go there every day while I'm there. So that's my jam.
Ali, would you like to share your answer with that one?
I don't know if you want to open up that can of worms.
With the NBA starting its true season, not the
off season.
with their season, what players do you see the most improvement in so far from this year compared to last year?
In regards to the NBA, it's kind of crazy for me to say this. I'm more of a college basketball watcher. I love the college game. I think their fundamentals are a lot better The NBA has kind of lost me within the past 5 years of watching. I know LeBron is still in the mix, but you guys all have to understand, I'm a big Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan fan. Those are my two guys. I feel like those are the end all be all. Yes, LeBron physically is a monster and he's really, really good. But in regards to the psychology of basketball, I loved Michael and Kobe because they just wanted to win. And that was their biggest thing. I think a lot of the players now, winning is important, but I think themselves are more important than anything else. And that's kind of what I have a problem with in regards to the NBA. But as far as players go, I don't really keep track of players individually, but we'll see how the season pans out.
Yeah.
Do you think you're gonna teach varsity anytime soon?
Going back a little bit, I coached varsity football for 7 years. All right. And it was a great experience. And then, as Mr. Heit knows, kids kind of come in and, you have your own kids and you see what you're missing out on. And I was making a lot of sacrifices. I have two daughters, Whitney, who's 13, and Adriana, who's 9. And, my weekends with them are very, very important. And the one thing about coaching varsity football is it's 24/7. It's 24/7. So it's something that at some point maybe I'll go back to because I miss the competitive fire. I miss those kids and I miss all the things that went along with it. But in regards to going back anytime soon, no. I love running the program down here. I feel comfortable down here. And I like getting back to the basics of football, learning about the fundamentals. Just like I said with the basketball thing, like I'm a big fundamental guy, and that's very, very important to me because that's how you learn. You learn by doing the fundamentals first. And I feel like everything else falls into place. So maybe one day, but my daughters will be much older because I don't want to sacrifice my time with them.
What do you think your favorite sport to teach is?
My favorite sport to teach.
Because I know you do tennis.
Yeah. Another good question. I definitely would say football is my favorite. It's not my first love. Soccer was my first love, but I guess football is definitely my first. Tennis is my second, and then basketball is my third favorite to teach and coach.
Why do you feel tennis is your favorite?
Because it's hard. It's really, really hard. It's hard physically. It's hard mentally, specifically singles, because you have no teammates. You have no teammates. You have nobody to depend on but yourself. And that I respect a lot. I enjoy that aspect because I grew up playing team sports. I always had people to depend on.
Didn't you also do wrestling?
Mm-hmm.
Did you also do wrestling?
I did wrestling. I had a short stint because the coach wanted me to diet down and lose weight. And in my mind, I didn't want to lose weight. I just wanted to eat as much as I wanted and work out. So that's where that sport kind of lost me a little bit. Making weight and doing all that stuff. I wanted to be big. And when I was in middle school, I wasn't big at all, but I found the weight room and, started working on myself a little bit. And I stopped wrestling because I didn't want to suck down weight anymore. But again, that was a great experience. I enjoyed it. It's another very, very hard and grueling sport. And I'm hoping that Ronney to my right over here wrestles alongside Ali. I think that would be great for both of you.
Would you say that sports and being a student athlete throughout your student career and athletic career improves you as a person rather than being, I guess I could say, inactive in extracurriculars?
Oh, 100%. I always, former players come back to me all the time making fun of me for this, but football, sports, and athletics is a microcosm of life. It is. It is. I truly do believe that. So you have your ups and downs in sports and athletics, just like you have your ups and downs in life. And my biggest thing for all of my players is to not only go through adversity, but see how they deal with adversity. Like during this past season, we dealt with adversity, and most of the time we responded great. And that's what I enjoy seeing, because just like in football and sports and athletics, you're going to deal with adversity. Life sometimes is not fair, right? We go through roadblocks, we go through trials and tribulations, and it's all in how we respond. Everybody's happy when life goes great. That's the easy part. But when life gets hard, like how are you guys going to react? And that's the beauty of sports and athletics, because sometimes things don't go right. And then it's all in how you respond. So, sports and athletics for me was a saving grace, because I do believe it taught me how to be a man. It taught me responsibility, dedication, leadership, how to be a leader, sportsmanship. Sportsmanship, I feel like, is important and gets sometimes lost in the wayside. But yeah, definitely sports and athletics for me kind of made me the man I am here today. For sure.
Would you say that you are a person that you would want other students and people around you to see as a role model?
I kind of want to steal a line from Charles Barkley, who was a NBA basketball player, and he made a commercial a long time ago. I am not a role model. I am a basketball player. But, with that said, being a teacher and educator, RJ, like, I guess it is a responsibility that I do have to take. I'm not perfect as a man, as a human. I do make mistakes, but, I try to learn from those mistakes, and I try to talk about decision making, not only in my health classes, but during the seasons that I do coach, with whether it's football and basketball specifically. It's just, again, it is a responsibility that I do take, and I try to show up to school every day and have that energy, and understand that sometimes students walk into the gym and they dislike gym and hate gym. And that's kind of how I felt when I walked into a math or science class, because those two subjects were not my fave at all. But again, in regards to being a role model, I do the best I can. I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm perfect, but I try to do what I can with what I got.
Thank you for taking 20 minutes out of your day to start off our podcast. We really appreciate it.
It is my pleasure, gentlemen. But thank you very much, fellas. This was fun. And I thank Mr. Heit.